Hi, this is Jake Prince. Welcome. This is my best of me, my bride, Dr. Ashley Prince here with Prince Health. What is dysautonomia? We have all these patients come into our clinic complaining and talking about headaches, fatigue, body aches. You know, they've been told they've been diagnosed with post-COVID symptoms, POTS, things of that nature. I mean, a lot of patients are complaining they can't get out of bed, they can't work, they can't be a mom, they want to be their kids, they can't be a wife, they desire to be to their husband, they can't work out, they can't function, they can't even get up and cook. They're saying make their family dinner. They're so fatigued, so tired, and have so many symptoms going on, struggling with migraines and headaches and things of that nature. So tell me, what is dysautonomia?
It's a hot topic. Have you seen a burning building and all you can see is the smoke coming out of the windows? But the fire is raging on the inside of the building and it's all encompassing and it's burning everyone up from the inside, but all you see is the smoke coming out of the windows. That is dysautonomia. Dysautonomia is a dysregulated nervous system. It is a nervous system that is on fire. It is also known as fight or flight. In infants, we can see it as colic, but essentially it is fight or flight. And nobody sees it, but you feel it very deeply.
So go back, tell me about when you're talking about smoke coming out of the building. What are you referring to there? Is that more like a symptom that potentially somebody's feeling, like a headache, chronic headaches, chronic migraines, chronic fatigue?
Well, you see
chronic brain fog?
You see it in our clinic. I mean, the beautiful women who come in their yoga pants and they look fit and fine and they look perfect on the outside, but there's a little something that is off. You can see in that, maybe a little bit of anxiety, or maybe they look a little disheveled, but overall they look healthy. And then they come in and they start pouring out and they're telling me, I feel suicidal. I can't get out of bed. My life has totally collapsed since COVID, since I got this infection. I don't know why. I feel horrible, but yet they look okay. So the smoke coming out of the windows is really just that little something that you can tell is off. But dysautonomia is utterly life-changing. It's a relatively new word, but I came across it in chiropractic school. And I'll never forget, there was a woman when I was in chiropractic school and doing my clinicals, there was a woman that came in with her baby. She just couldn't sleep. Her baby was crying all the time. And in medicine, we know that the definition of colic is a baby that cries 3 or more hours a night and you don't know why. And so here's this baby crying and crying and crying. Nobody can figure out why.
I'm just thinking of our own kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever...
I have 3 kids. We know what crying is about.
Have you ever held a colicky baby? Have you ever met one? I mean, it's horrible. And usually the mother has no idea what to do. And to be honest with you, the doctors don't know what to do either. But the truth of it is, all it is a dysregulated nervous system. This baby has spent 9 months in the womb, in this beautiful, warm environment. All they hear is, they hear the beautiful sounds of their mother's voice, and it sounds like, echoes from an orca whale. They feel this warm, gooey environment. The temperature is always steady. They see golden tones. That's what they see through the womb. And it's this comfortable refuge. And then all of a sudden, they're pulled out, with hundreds of pounds of pressure, with cold forceps. They see bright lights. They see weird hands, weird people coming at them. They're trying to slather, antibiotic ointment in their eyes. They're shooting them up with needles and vaccines. They're giving them all sorts of crap. And now this baby is utterly dysregulated. His nervous system can't control. His nervous system doesn't know what to do. He wants to go back to the womb, but they've ripped him out. And so what I learned in chiropractic was I felt so bad for this woman. I was like, I got to figure out a way to help her, like, how can we get this baby to calm down? And I took this class. It was like the 277 points of sleep hygiene. And it taught us how to basically create an environment for rest. And I learned, how do you get a baby to calm down. Well, you can get an adult to calm down with the same methods. We make the bedroom 75 degrees. We put a sound machine in the room that blocks out all the loud, abrupt noises. When the parents come in, they speak at a low tone. There's golden tones and not all these bright fluorescent lights. And we basically, in order to get babies to calm down, in order to get adults to calm down, we just recreate the womb on a daily basis, and it works. And in our clinic today, that's what all the crazy stuff we do. It's all with the hope and design to get the nervous system to calm down.
Yeah. No, that's good. Living in a culture where everything's so fast, coming at us in every direction, trying to keep up with everyone else. Like you're saying, just all the lights, the noise in life, just the noise of life, right, can affect our nervous system in our body,
Oh, yeah.
which can affect the atmosphere in our body, right? And so going back to dysautonomia, like, how do people know if they have dysautonomia or not? And what are some more side effects of dysautonomia?
I mean, most people that come into our clinic, I would argue, they don't know they have dysautonomia. They will say things like, I feel like I'm about to explode, or they'll talk about having panic attacks, or they will say, all lights feel too bright, sounds feel too loud. I can't be around my children at dinner time. I mean, they don't know that they have this condition, but they know something's wrong. And I would say their husband can probably see smoke coming out of the windows. They don't see the fire that's lit on the inside, but everybody around sees the smoke coming out of the windows. They know something's off. You mentioned in your first question about POTS, because a lot of people will use those words kind of synonymously, and they'll say, well, I have dysautonomia and POTS. Well, it's important to know, number one, what causes dysautonomia, and then how does POTS happen? Because it's one thing after another. So there's essentially, a perfect storm that happens. There's a series of events that occurs to set the house on fire.